You know, for some reason my offer isn't working. I think I need to change the button color. You sure about that? I mean, yeah, bro, I spent 6 months building the perfect funnel. Yeah, but you're kind of like a store in the desert. Like, you need buyers. Buyers? Buyers? Do you even funnel, bro? You know what, you're right. You probably actually just need an orange button. What's up, guys? It's Frankie here. If you guys want to make money, this is the most important thing in the business, and it is part of something that actually nobody really talks about. And there's an old investor guy named Jim Straw who had some old writings and stuff that really made this click for me. He's a guy who made something like $500 million in the 1950s. He'd be a multi-billionaire by today's standards. And he wrote some books towards the end of his life talking about this exact subject. I'm going to share this secret with you guys in this business. And what you guys will find is nobody else, at least that I've heard of, in the agency space talks about this. But if you get this wrong, you are totally fucked. And if you get this right, it becomes so much easier to make money. And I want to show you guys that exact secret in this video. So for those of you guys who don't know me already, my name is Frankie Finn. I wrote these 2 best-selling books, Beyond the Agency Box, Passive Automated Recurring Income. I built 3 of my own agencies up to 100 plus clients, and I've helped thousands of people like you guys out there to live this more beach, less laptop lifestyle. Let's get into the good stuff. All right, so when it comes to growing an agency, a lot of people are starting with the wrong question. And wrong questions will, by the way, lead you to crazy, difficult battles in life. And the question that most people are asking me is, how do I sell blank? How do I sell SEO? How do I sell pay-per-click? How do I sell whatever it is that goes into this blank, right? Like you got an SEO or pay-per-click solution. And the much better question that I have found that all the top people in the various industries ask is, who is buying it? And that is a far more important question. I'm going to show you guys a little graph that is designed to mirror a sort of real life experience here. I'm going to draw like 10 little stick figures, and this represents a random sampling of 100 people in your niche, okay? So whatever niche you're in, doesn't matter whether dentist, or even if you're still broad and you're a generalist and you're just doing this for any business owner, still applies regardless of how you splice it, although I would encourage you guys to niche down, okay? So there's 10 of them. 10 of them in total. And I know you guys want to put your shit out there and get people to buy your shit, which is kind of like this.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's my number, now buy my shit.
I'm just saying, we could have made a rockin' awesome music channel. So there's an 80-20 of this, by the way. Okay, so this is what I intend to show you, okay? So if we took 8 people and just randomly asked them, how much money do you spend on marketing services? What you would find is that if you could get a room of 100 of these people, that there would be 2 people, or if you get a room of 10 of them, that there would be 2 people in there, in your niche, that actually spend more than the 8 combined. These are what I would call the buyers, by the way. They're the ones who spend money on marketing services. And nothing will drive you crazier than trying to sell stuff to non-buyers, because you really have 2 sales to make. The first is, you should invest in marketing services. And the second is, you should use me as your solution. And it's actually the first sale that these people fight you on, because they fundamentally do not believe in investing in marketing services, as where these people do and are in fact already doing it. And therefore, it's normal for them to spend, so you only have 1 sale to make, which is, I have a good solution for you. So anytime, by the way, you're over here selling to non-buyers, this is what your experience is going to feel like.
You shall not pass!
And by the way, most people in their agency world, I see this time and time again. They're talking to the broke segment of their niche. Are you struggling with this? Does life suck? Can you not make any money? Do you not have any business at all? And they're talking to the brokest people of this, and then they conclude, the problem is my niche, and they don't understand, regardless of which niche we're in, we're only talking to like 10, 20% of the people in the niche. For most of you guys to hit your wildest income goals, you would need between 10 and 30 people. Right? Like if you got a 2K a month thing, you get 30 people, you're making 60K a month. For most of you guys, it's probably more money than you ever made in your entire life, right? So and on the high side, most of you guys aren't going to go past 100 clients. So we don't need 1 million of them. We need the right people who can actually afford to and do spend money on the kinds of things that we do. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question here. How do we actually find buyers in an industry? And I'm going to tell you, it's not as secret as people think, because buyers buy. So like I knew this when I would work in the personal injury space, is the top attorneys, they're on all the ads, they're on all the billboards, they're on all the radio spots, they're on all the bus stops, they run all the SEO, they do all the pay-per-click, they pay for all the Instagram ads, all the videos, etc. They ain't hiding. Your job is to identify these people and hyper-target both your pitch, your message, and your offer at these people. In fact, if you do cold DMing, which is commonly taught in our space, and you do this to 100 people, guess which section of the 100 people respond? These guys, the people who buy everything, right? So let's talk about what the buyers buy, because if you understand what the buyers buy, I found there's 7 things that identify like they are a buyer, and therefore you can tell that they're buying stuff in the industry. So the first thing is they buy expertise. Okay? So expertise takes on a lot of different forms. Sometimes it's a conference, so sometimes it's a mastermind. Sometimes it's they'll hire the outside consultant. The people who hire the top consultant are the same people that spend the money on ads. The people who go to the masterminds are the same people who buy the ads. The people who buy the top courses and trainings and stuff are the same people who buy the ads. Okay? Next thing, they also consume all the content. So right now, somebody in your industry makes a top YouTube channel. Somebody wrote a book. Somebody's got a top LinkedIn following, etc., right? So somebody makes the content. Somebody's got a top podcast. Thirdly, I'm just going to write COM here. COM stands for communities. In fact, they often self-assemble in communities because they want to talk to other buyers who are actively growing this business and share resources and ideas to help each other. They're usually, by the way, the buyers are far more collaborative. Down here at the bottom, they're often the most competitive. Next one, I'm going to write ASS. And this is only for those of you guys who are in offline niches, but there are industry associations. Like if you're doing this for plumbers, the Plumbers Association of America, or the Dental Association of Denver, or whatever, right? They're self-organizing. The National Trial Lawyers, that's a real one, by the way. Funny little story about the National Trial Lawyers. They had an event, and I had spoken at a lot of their events, and I wasn't speaking at the one, but one of the lawyers went there, and they listed the top 100 trial lawyers in America, and my name was on that list as a guy who's never worked a single day as an attorney. So I always thought that was funny. If you do enough in your market, they'll assume you're one of them, and they'll even name you as one of the top guys, even though you never did it for even 5 minutes. You're just an internet degenerate selling stuff. So let's talk about the next piece. They buy what I would call tools. Tools come in all sorts of different forms. It can be software, right? Like especially digital stuff. The top people, these guys got a CRM. These people do not have a CRM. Ask a broke roofer, what CRM do you use? He'll go, CRM? What the hell is a CRM? Ask a wealthy roofer, what CRM do you use? He says, oh, I really like Job Nimbus. Whatever, right? But, and also they have suppliers. So like, for example, like if you work with dentists, somebody supplies them that pokey thing in the mouth that always pokes your gums. Somebody supplies them with all those chairs and dental equipment and things like that. And again, there are also tools like sometimes like the Nail Gun 9000. Let's talk sixth thing. I'm just going to call this live, right? Events, conferences, retreats, workshops, right? Somebody organizes the let's get together and share cool information. And then last thing is the buyers also buy all the services. And by the way, they don't just buy marketing services. I don't want you guys to think about this just as a box of, oh, they hire other pay-per-click. That is true. But they also hire all the legal experts. They hire all the financial experts. They pay the top real estate people to get them a prime location, etc., right? So if you understand this, it actually becomes very easy to identify buyers because you can ask lots of ways. You can say, like, who's your tool supplier? They don't have an answer. They ain't a buyer. You can say, which conferences have you been to? And the flip side of that is if you see people going to conferences, you can probably conclude that they're a buyer because they just paid to go to that conference to learn how to do stuff. These people are actively investing their money. Ergo, we don't need to convince them to spend money. They're doing it. Over here, you have to constantly tell people you should invest in your business. You should care about your business. You should want to grow it. And they'll fight you and they'll say, hey, we've grown 30 years on referrals. Or hey, like we don't really want to grow. I make $300,000 a year. I'm comfortable. I don't want to do more shit. And then all that happens is you kind of feel like this.
That is one big pile of shit.
You end up just feeling like one big pile of shit trying to convince people to do what is against their behavior. And so if I could just sum this up in one way, I would say trust behavior, not words. How do I know that buyers can spend money? And the answer is they're doing it right now. Jeff Miller calls this $1 million budgets versus $1 million dreams. Over here we have $1 million budgets. Over here we have $1 million dreams. You want to work with $1 million budgets, not $1 million dreams. And by the way, these people are easier to help, not harder, because they often have sales and teams. And also, they have more problems, not less, because they have more shit to manage. More TV ads, more radio spots, more billboards, more SEO, more pay-per-click, more video editing, etc. They actually have more problems here, not less. More problems, not less. Ergo, there's more stuff you can do and more money for you in it. So I want you to really grasp the fact it does not matter what industry you're in. You're aiming for the top 10 to 20%. Over here, these people will give you their last $500 and expect you to save them. Over here, these people will give you $10K a month and not even notice it go from the bankroll and leave you the fuck alone to do your thing. All right, so let's talk about how do you actually get in front of buyers? Okay, so I hope I've made this really clear that Jim Strauss says if you want to make money in any business, the secret is find the buyers. He says, everyone asks the question, how do I sell my thing? Nobody asks the question, how do I find the buyers? All the money is in owning, controlling, and having a list of buyers. If you have a list of proven buyers, by the way, as an actual practical fact, you can do about $1 million a year in an agency with about 400 active buyers in your audience. Real fact. So we're not talking you need millions of people. You got 40 buyers. So let's say you got a $2,500 a month solution. If you can convert 10% of them, that's 40 people paying you $2,500 a month. What does that work out to? I don't know, like basically 100,000, I guess. 100K, you make $1 million a year, you got 40 people, right? And if you got 400 of these people in your audience, is going to convert. So how do you actually find these people? And the answer is, these people we find simply one of two ways. Organic or paid. It's really that simple. It's like we're going to use one or the other. And organic is when you intentionally form relationships with these people and put stuff in front of them. And actually, by the way, what I have found is the best way to do it is organically create relationships with people who are one level above them. So for example, if you create a relationship with the person who runs the industry conference and you co-create stuff with the industry conference, you're going to get in front of thousands of buyers at once. So to me, the secret of organic is in this magic word right here called co-create. Create valuable trainings, tools, resources for their audience. And in essence, if you can wrap your head around this idea that ideas equal free and implementation equals money, then all you do is give away all your best ideas for free. So if you do SEO for plumbers, you tell plumbers how they can do SEO without you. And a percentage of those will say, can I get your help implementing the ideas you just gave me? If you do pay-per-click for dentists, you show dentists how to run their own pay-per-click ads, and a percentage of them will say, can I pay you to implement what you just showed me? So the magic is in this magic phrase right here, co-create. The other option is paid. And what I'll tell you is my favorite way to target traffic, and I call these side door opportunities. Because if, for example, like let's say we are in the dental space and we do SEO. If I go to bid in the obvious front door dentist SEO, then what happens is those keywords are probably going to be 20, 30 bucks a click. It's going to be really expensive. It's going to be really, really hard to make sales without having a really, really big budget. Flip side of that is I know these buyers also buy other things. So say, for example, they're buying a dental CRM called Dentist CRM. Well, if I go run paid traffic to anybody who's looking at Dentist CRM, I still get in front of these same people. And yet, it probably only costs 10 cents a click. Same exact person, 10 cents a click over here. So I call this the front door and the side door. The front door is the obvious way. Let's advertise we do dentist SEO. The problem is everybody else is trying to bid there. But I start bidding on the tools or the live event. Like say they're searching DentalCon, the dental conference. If I bid ads on DentalCon, well, chances are they're going to be pennies. Pennies, because nobody else is trying to bid on DentalCon. If I bid on the industry association. Again, I can probably get in front of those people for pennies. So these are my two favorite ways of doing it, and I actually both like, I think they work both best together, because what we like to do is co-create stuff with these industry leaders. There's usually about 100 or 200 people in industries, and then take those resources we created with them and feed them to them. Why? Because these are the best performing stuff. I'll give you an example of this, okay? So imagine like 10, 15 years ago, Justin Brook, who's been a friend of ours, been on the channel here, helped show how to set up AI webinars. You guys can find that video. But he was a brand new starting out Facebook ad agency, had no clients, and he decided to send a box of brownies in the mail to Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson, by the way, runs live events, runs a tool, also has expertise in mastermind. So he's three of those things, and of course his following is buyers. So what Russell did, what he did for Russell is he offered him, hey, let me run a retargeting ad and sell your mastermind for you. I'll do it totally for free. I just want the case study. Now Russell, at that time, is in the height of the ClickFunnels mastermind. He's basically famous in our industry, or in the ClickFunnels fame. And also, Justin's not asking for anything in doing this, and retargeting is relatively new at this point. Retargeting is a lot more common now, but at that time, not everybody was doing it. Like, you know, go back 15 years. So they ended up running it, and they sold a few masterminds, and Russell was really happy. And so Russell did a few things. One is he referred him. But I want you guys to think about the paid advertisement. So first, they co-created something together. In this case, they created some Facebook ads, and he didn't even get paid for it. But I want you to imagine now when he goes to turn on the paid ad. So if he runs an ad that says, hey, I'm a Facebook ads guy, hire me. Do you think that's going to work as well as, let me show you a case study I did for Russell Brunson? Right? So I want you guys just to imagine the power of this. And in a lot of different industries, these people are much more easy to approach. They're a lot less famous, and yet they still have that same level of perceived authority in their thing, right? Like if it's today, for example, if I ran an ad and said, look at a case study I did for Alex Hermosi, I'm going to have a hard time not selling that. So the magic of this is when you find the people that already sell to your audience, you co-create stuff, and then you use the power of paid ads to then force feed that to the audience. You end up with these amazing case studies that sell your shit, and you can co-create for nothing, right? It doesn't cost any money, and it's not super hard to get these co-creations because you're not asking for anything. You're just going, hey, let me do something cool for your audience. And this is our preferred way of doing this inside of the Wolfpack Mastermind.
Select your player.
Wake up to Wolfpack. All right, so enough of those shenanigans. I hope more than anything, what I opened your eyes to today is what Jim Straw taught me when I first read his materials. You can't make any money if you don't have any buyers. This is the real secret to success in business. Everybody is starting with the wrong question. How do I sell my thing? And in asking that question, they assume everyone is equal, and so they spend a lot of time and energy chasing these people who are never going to buy your shit consistently, sustainably over time, because they don't fundamentally believe in investing money in marketing, and so you're fighting them on their own behavior. These smaller segment of people already believe what you do. And the other thing here is, with these guys, you are amplifying success, and ergo, you have a lot of things to work with. They often have working offers, working sales teams, things like this. Over here, you are the savior. You have to take a business that is not working and try and rescue it. You have no working offers, no working funnels, no working systematic sales process. They don't know how to answer the phone. They don't know how to differentiate. And so you're trying to save businesses. Over here, you're amplifying. And I'll tell you, this business works a lot better when you're amplifying winners instead of trying to save losers. And when I say losers, I don't mean that they're like losers in the game of life. I'm just talking about purely the game of business. Our model works better amplifying winners. So I want you guys to really obsess about, how do I amplify winners? And that also, you know that whole saying, you're the sum of the 5 people closest to you? Well, if you're associating your business with people who are struggling and desperate, guess where you're going to be? If you're associating yourself with people who are doing $80 million but still got problems and helping solve them, well, don't be surprised if you're an $80 million business yourself. So I hope this is super helpful to you guys. This is something I've never really heard anybody else talk about. Dan Kennedy says, if you imagine your marketing services like selling shoes, your first instinct will be to sell to someone who is barefoot because they need it. These are all the barefoot people. You're going, hey, I should sell. And what he says is what you really want to do is focus on people who have 200 pairs of shoes in the closet and give them a reason why they need a 201st pair of shoes. These are the people who own all the shoes. These are the people who are barefoot. Logically, these are the people who need what you want most, but I actually suggest to you, these are the ones with the most and biggest problems, and these are the ones you can actually fix and will stay and pay you over the long term. Even when you get these people, they often cancel very, very quickly because, again, they're not fighting you on your service. They're fighting you on, I don't believe in investing in my business. So I hope this video changes a lot of people's lives out there because it's changed mine. I've had people up level millions of dollars once they just started becoming obsessed about, yeah, I need to find the buyers in the industry. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. Much love. May the force be with you, and make sure to subscribe for the Golden Dad Guns. Hey guys, if you like this video, you may also like my best-selling book here, Beyond the Agency Box. It is all about scaling a digital marketing agency while eliminating meetings and phone calls. We actually sell our stuff phoneless. We don't have any client meetings, and we also hire our team entirely without meeting phone calls, which allows us to, you know, like actually kind of live a life. I've laid out the entire blueprint in everything you need to know, getting clients, onboarding, setting expectations, scaling, building a team, you name it. It has been a bestseller on Amazon now for over 5 straight years, but now you can get it even cheaper than you can get it on Amazon. So I can't tell you the exact price because it may change when this video is released, but there should be a link to it below, either in the description of the video or as well as a pinned comment. So if you're interested in that, check out that video and you can get a copy for super cheap.